Greetings. My name is Tom Guerra, and this is my CNT 898 Master's Project video presentation. A little bit about me. I am a fifth-year high school science teacher. I teach pre-AP chemistry and physics, and I've also taught pre-AP biology and intervention biology. I also coach all year round. I'm an assistant football coach, and I also coach boys soccer. So I coach in the fall and in the spring. I received my Bachelor of Science in Biology from Texas A&M International University, TAMIU, located in 2011, located here in Laredo. I am also a member of the Rio Grande International Study Center, or RIS, which is a nonprofit community organization dedicated to preserving and protecting the Rio Grande through awareness, research, and education. Basically, if anything that's going along, that's happening, that's going to affect the ecosystem in that by the river, this organization is dedicated to preserving whatever has to be done in order to make sure that the ecosystem is not disturbed. I'm also a United States Navy veteran. I enlisted directly out of high school in 1998 from 2003, and I served a tour in Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom. So this is me right here, and I decided to put a little picture here with my family, my wife Bernice and our 8-month-old baby Jude, to show what I like to do in my free time. We like to travel. We like to go to Comic-Cons and meet famous artists and concerts and events. Of course, most of my spare time during the year is spent with football or soccer, coaching here with my boys. So I'm pretty much busy throughout the whole year, but try to spend as much time with the family as well when I can. So with my educational setting, I work at Raymond and Tirza Martin High School, located here in Laredo, Texas. Our school colors are red and white. Our mascot is the tiger, and our motto is once a tiger, always a tiger. As our principal loves to state, we are the flagship high school of Laredo, the first high school that was established here in Laredo, Texas, for the Laredo Independent School District. It was formerly known as Laredo High School in 1916, and then was renamed and relocated in 1937. One of the special features about this school is that it is the closest school along the United States-Mexican border where Laredo is located. So our school has a lot of immigrational background. As you can see here, this is Martin High School right here, and here is the U.S.-Mexican border. So we're really only about maybe 3 or 4 blocks away from the border right here. And most of our student body still actually lives in Mexico, and they travel all the way over here to take their classes and then travel all the way back. And this right here is actually the whole west side of the city, one of the poorest parts actually of the entire city in its history. So by pulling up the Texas Academic Performance Report for 2017-2018, I'm able to give you a little brief information about our student body. All of our students, 99%, are Hispanic, and because they live on the west side of the city, they come from economically disadvantaged backgrounds here. Most of them come also from broken families due to many of them having their parents divorced or still living in Mexico, so they'll live with their aunts, with their grandmas, or mom's friends, or whoever. And because of that, we have a very, very high risk of not graduating with most of our students here at 66%. And because most of them are still coming from Mexico, where they learn English as their second language, 50% of our student body are English language learners, which plays a very big part in the fact when it comes down to their and of course, assessment exams. The State of Texas Assessment of Academic Readiness, or the STAR test, as we like to call it. As you can see here this past year, with English 1 and 2, believe it or not, these are actually pretty much the averages that we get here, not just for the school, but actually for the whole district. In mathematics and science, social studies, we actually do pretty well, usually above 80%, and we actually do our best to try to help out with our kids learning more English and to be able to pass their test for both English 1 and 2. So the outcome that I chose to focus on was what I had learned from technology, because I felt that this was the main focus actually of the entire course, because here I am with the technology based program trying to earn a master's degree, and it's something that I feel is already the future of education. So the outcome that was for technology, the learning outcome, was to create experiences for student learners to engage with technology to enhance and extend their learning. And I believe the enhancing is the main point of this whole outcome. This is something that I learned while taking the course EOPS 811, Constructivist Learning Technologies, and when I was assigned to create a reflection paper for my midterm. So I chose by the apps that I have used in this course and in my teachings as well, because I feel that the 21st century student, this is basically their language. Technology is somewhere where they feel completely comfortable, pretty much like their own natural habitat. Anything that has to do with the students using their phones, using mobile devices, iPods, whatever, they feel more empowered, and automatically they already feel more attached to the course and very excited. So these are some of the apps that I've used in my course with like Nearpod, Kahoot, Quizzes, BrainPop, Edmodo. Nearpod was actually the whole basis of my midterm paper. I was assigned to talk about the reflection of a technology template that I had used in my course for my classes, and Nearpod was the one that I chose. For one thing, I thought it was extremely great, which I'll show to you in a second, with this whole technology, because you do not need to be an expert to be able to use it in the classroom. Most teachers now are already using their overhead projectors as far as almost every single day instead of the chalkboard, which I know that I do. I use my PowerPoints every day to get the whole point across, videos, anything that I can to be able to keep the interest of the students. And I feel that this is the future for any type of program at any educational level. Case in point, this whole master's program, trying to earn a master's without having to set foot in the classroom, totally online. So with Nearpod, which is what my midterm paper was about, this is one of the ones that I used, which was the Nearpod virtual reality. With the Laredo Independent School District, our budget is actually very, very limited, that a lot of the projects, a lot of the labs have to be teacher funded. And of course, as much as I want to provide for my students, I'm still only on a teacher salary here. So in science, where you have the whole world to basically discover, one of the things that's great about this application with technology, and which is the one I wrote about, is that I was able to bring the science to them, be able to bring the world, the field trips, everything to them through their mobile device, which again, just by that alone, I already had them, super duper excited, because they're using their phones to be able to learn. And of course, that's something that they feel completely super comfortable with. As you can see here, they were able to follow me exactly of everything that I was doing with my PowerPoint. So no student was able to be Googling something else, because I was able to tell through my laptop. So anything as far as with field trips, ecology, excursions, all those things, I was able to bring them all to them through their mobile device. And it's something that they had totally a total interest in. This app was another one that I talked about briefly, which is the Element 4D app, and something that I use for my chemistry class. And of course, being on a tight budget, being able to get chemicals or anything that I would need for my chemistry class is difficult, besides the fact that a lot of them, of course, they could be dangerous. So with this app, it was really, really great being able to have them discover elements and chemical compounds, all at really, really be able to, at a safe distance, with this app. As you can see here, these pieces of paper, they're boxes. When you're using your mobile device, you are able to bring up little details about this element that you could you can't do that with the natural elements. So with sodium here, as you can see the actual element, what it's made of, what it's used for. You could actually even pick it up and twist it around in your hand. Something like this one with chlorine, having a little vial of chlorine in my classroom would be completely very, very dangerous. And yet the students here are able to see everything about this elements, the colors. You could even bring them together to show them compounds. The kids can learn even more. So of course, with sodium and chlorine, you get sodium chloride, your basic table salt, that now the students are able to understand it a whole lot more and yet they're able to do it with something they feel completely comfortable with, which is their cell phones or their mobile devices. And our students are also issued laptops, which are able to help them even more. So, with this great quote that I found with Mr. Patrick White, which is, "I forget what I was taught, I only remember what I have learned." My biggest takeaway from this course was being able to get a bird's eye view of the whole process of curriculum and instruction. You know, as a teacher, you are basically where the rubber meets the road. You're there with the mostly instructional part of a curriculum. And yet being able to see with this class all the learning technologies, everything that goes into the models that are put together to try to create a curriculum instruction was something that was extremely grateful for me. I was able to basically have my own self-assessment for my educational portfolio, models of instruction to enhance my own practice. And one of the main ones, of course, was the constructive learning technologies that I learned through this whole entire course as a whole. Which was constructivism versus constructionism. And this is what I kind of took away the most, trying to find a kind of like a delicate balance in between both, where, okay, with constructionism, I'm kind of building the kid up, giving them a foundation of what to learn, yet I still want them to kind of have their own self-directed learning, you know, taking charge and responsibility for what they learn. Because once they're already in this stage, and if the foundation is good, I mean, they are able to take off and learn at such a fast and exponential rate that trying to find that correct balance in between two was really where I kind of find my teaching philosophy that was further developed through this program, which I'm extremely thankful for. My future endeavors, of course, first things first, I have to impress the faculty committee to be able to earn my master's. And I want to develop a thesis for later on, based on the effects of student motivation and engagement in technology-based classroom learning modules. I do plan to hopefully be able to pursue my PhD in education, possibly educational leadership and policy making, and one day hopefully hold a position of in higher education or principal. And I want to thank the entire University of Kansas campus, Dr. Douglas Girard, the College School of Education, Dr. Rick Ginsberg, two professors that have really helped me this past year, Dr. Carrie Lavoie and Dr. Jay McManus, but all my professors that have been able to help me out. And I'll leave you with this quote here of, "A good education should leave much to be desired," which with this program, it definitely has. I definitely want to learn a lot more to be able to enhance my own learning experience and be able to make me even a better teacher and help out our future, which are our students. Thank you for your time, and God bless.